private institutions around here. We got plenty of them. Feel free to do your research on that. I think you got private and regional. You know what I'm saying? And if it's private, it ain't got no regulations. You know, somebody build a big ass metal building on their land and secure it so can't nobody get out. Well, they can get in, we can't get out, and they can get paid for it as long as there's people being housed there. And speaking of people being housed, well, really this ain't got nothing to do with it, but I was trying to segue to Mike Tyson. Now, Mike Tyson put them hands on a man on a plane. Now, this dude had to be drunk or stupid, or probably a combination of the two. Or maybe he didn't know who Mike Tyson was. But I doubt it. He probably knew who Mike Tyson was. Well, hint, hint, former heavyweight champion of the world. You might want to stay on his good side. But I seen the video. Mike was putting them hands on his head. I'm talking about it like he flashed out. It was like what Will did to Chris Rock, but just quicker and more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty rough, man. He was knocking the shit out the dude. But what I find funny about this story, just a couple weeks before this happened, Mike was at a comedy club, I want to say in L.A., and this guy, he gets irate, he get to heckling people, and before you know it, he done pulled the gun. Everybody hit the deck. Mike just standing there with his arm folded, talking. Somehow or another, he talked the guy down, wasn't in no panic or nothing. Got a gun, dude got a gun out and everything. Mike cool as a fan. So, with that being said, this guy had to be really getting on this man's nerves or say something real stupid. You know what I'm saying? He might have said some shit, man, bite my ear like you did Holyfield or some shit like, I don't know. Or, you still in touch with that girl they say you raped, you know, something like that. This is all alleged now, people. These are my views. They don't represent any publisher or platform that carries this podcast. It's all on Polo. But I'm just saying, like, he had to say something real fucked up to make this man flash out. Because this man been all about peace and tranquility and keeping good energy. But he hit that nerve and Mike hit his ass. So, moving on from that. How fucked up is these other countries? The former president of Honduras, he just got expedited back to the U.S. because they saying he was bringing that dope in. So apparently he was a drug dealer. They say he tied in with the narcos and the Sinaloa cartel. And I believe that was, if you ever heard of Pablo Escobar, one of the major drug dealers that ever lived. They said, not the Sinaloa, I believe that was the Medellin. I'm sorry about that, y'all. It's a bunch of them. I ain't no dealer or no narco, so how the hell I supposed to know? So forgive me on that. But I think it was the Medellin cartel what Pablo was a part of, or ran actually. He wasn't a part of it, he ran it. But the president now, former president, but now he back in the U.S. And they bringing him up on drug charges. And keeping it on the U.S., here we go again, y'all. How many times you gonna hear this one? The U.S. sending $800 million to Ukraine. Now, I feel for Ukraine. I'm all about helping people. But I can think of a lot of things $800 million can do right here in the U.S. And now you got to look at this on both sides of the coin now. I understand we want to keep our diplomatic and world ties. You know, you never know when you're going to need another country. You know, we just can't say fuck everybody. Because then everybody might say fuck us, and then that's going to be a tough word to live in. Because we get certain stuff from certain countries. Never know what you're going to need from another country. So I understand us sending aid and trying to help out, you know, to keep everything cool, being a friendly neighbor and shit. But $800 million, though, I do have a problem with that number. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just talking about the insurance. We can put that in the insurance company, and then that more homeowner insurance will go down. You know what I'm saying? I can think of a lot of, we got a bunch of roads and bridges that need to be fixed around here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep it moving on that. And oh, by the way, shout out to Ukraine. I'm gonna just stay right there for a quick second, because them motherfuckers over there fighting hard. You heard me? I'm talking about they ain't giving up. And I really think Russia fucked around a bit out more than they can chew. They thought they were just gonna run over there, take them folks shit and get on down. But man, there's some hard fighting motherfuckers. I'm talking about they going tooth and nail the whole country. You got teachers, boxers, everybody trying to get their hands on something. Then us and other countries, we can give them all kind of weapons and stuff like that. And I don't know. And speaking of Russia, I heard they cut off oil to a couple countries too. Like, man, we ain't selling y'all nothing no more. Or for right now anyway. But I don't know what Putin got going on, but I don't think this shit going like he thought. You know what I'm saying? When you hit a motherfucker upside the head and he don't just fall out on the floor, and he standing there, he looking at you, and he ready to go, there might have been a fight you didn't want to pick. So all I know, they've been fighting a long time over there. That's all I'm saying. Cause if you go invade a motherfucker now, you supposed to invade. He invaded, but he ain't taking too much of nothing. You know what I'm saying? To me, invading, we coming over here, we getting on top of your head, taking whatever we want. We go rebuild this shit, and then it's ours. That's an invasion, but he done ran over there, he done took some cities, and then Ukraine turn around and take it back. I mean, this ain't really going the way he playing. I don't believe anyway. But and then with all these sanctions the U.S. done put on him, his money and the military getting low. Cause the Ukrainian people like, this is our country, we fighting to stay here. And then the Russian soldiers like, man, I really don't even really want to be doing this shit, bro. I mean, that man got us out here. He's somewhere laid up, eating caviar, smoking cigars, and we out here, man, trying to take these folk land, and they trying to kill us too, you know. So, I don't know. I'm going to leave y'all with that. Any questions or comments, you can hit me up at MarcoPolo2K at iCloud.com, Polo_DA_swag_King on Instagram, Polo the Swag King 1 on Twitter. I mean, if you want to elaborate on this any more than you want to. And I did have this town. I must have missed it. But it's some town that they got in the U.S., and that's the crazy part. You can pay $150 and be the mayor for the day. Just pay them $150. You the mayor for the day. Now, what authority and what powers you got, who knows? But it's so fucked up. They made a cat. They say this cat, Jinx the cat. They say he got a good Instagram following. He probably got more Instagram followers than most humans. But Jinx the cat made the mayor of this said town. I'm going to have to do some more research and figure out what town that is, because I am so interested in that. Well, and then I'd be offended, really. Like, we shooting that bad, we fucking get the cat, get Fluffy over him. But I don't know, maybe his they say he got a pretty good Instagram following, so maybe his followers voted him in, or because somebody had to pay $150 for him. He a cat. I mean, what he do? Go in their wallet and pull out his $150? But anyway, keeping it going, I'm pretty sure y'all done heard this story, and it's a pretty big one. Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO, purchases Twitter for $44 billion. And you know you got that bread when you can just drop $44 billion. In fact, it's gonna take months for the deal to finalize. And I imagine they doing it digital, but or wire transfers they call it. But boy, that's a lot of money. You look in your bank account, you got they own Twitter. Whoever he buying it from, they own Twitter. Matter of fact, the government had to approve it. You know what I'm saying? The government was like, hey, I guess we can let you do it. So that's how big a deal this was. But you probably got 20, 30 billion in your bank account. If you don't own Twitter, then next thing you know, you got 44 billion. I mean, must be nice. I know some big numbers, y'all. I'm just trying to make it, you know what I'm talking about? But anyway, also Jessica Watson will be the first black woman to stay in space for about 6 months. She just blasted off on a rocket, so shout out to her. And keeping it on the African American community, Harvard University, they putting up $100 million. They're trying to investigate the ties to slavery and its descendants, and as it relates to the school and the history of the African American people dealing with the schools. And $100 million. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this story. I ain't gonna lie, that's a big number. And so apparently they dedicated to finding out as much as they can. Well, anyway, I guess I'm gonna switch gears here now. And I got a question. If you're a dog lover, and I know a lot of people are, would you give up your dog? I mean, would you give up your fiance for the dog? I mean, If your fiance said, hey, man, if that dog was sleeping in the bed every night, it ain't cool. We got to do something different. And you say, well, go find you another motherfucking bed because my dog ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But I have heard stories about this, and some people, they treat their dogs like they family members, or a lot of women say they kid. Their dog is their kid. So I'm just curious about that. Like I said, y'all can hit me up on the socials, and I'm just curious about who would give up their fiance for the dog. And I want to talk about child support again. Y'all, once again, certain stuff I take personal now. And child support just happen to be one of them. Because what about these women going putting these men on child support knowing it ain't that man, baby? I'm talking about, man, ooh, woo, I'm going to kill you dead. But once again, I'm just joking, y'all. I don't condone violence. And these are my views, and they don't represent the publisher or platform that carries this podcast. But y'all got to keep giving disclosures, man. I don't want to get my shit jacked out from none of these platforms I'm on. Because I'm on quite a few. Trying to do my thizzle. You know how it is. But yeah, for the women that's going to put these guys on child support, knowing that ain't his baby, y'all some rotten motherfucker. Yup, Polo said it. You just rotten. And I don't want to hear that, oh, the child will have a better life with him and all that. That still should be that man's choice. And then you go have an innocent person struggling over him, knowing it ain't his child. Then the real daddy still popping bottles in the club, probably getting another one pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Right behind you. So, man, that shit is not cool. And then I blame the DHS system also, because all the woman got to do is go down there and say, yeah, this is baby. And the man automatically wrong, whether he right or wrong. He got to get a lawyer. Most guys can't even afford a lawyer. He got to get, they want to suspend his license. They want to put him in jail. And that's the dumbest shit ever. Okay, you take the man's license. How the fuck he supposed to legally go to work to make money to pay the child support? Or you put him in jail. Okay, he can't make no money in jail either. So, once again, this is shit that I feel like need to be reformed like a motherfucker. And then I feel like they need to do some kind of monitoring of the funds. Like if the judge pulled the card transaction and it's got some stilettos on that bitch or some red bottoms. I mean, come on now, or some crystal at Club Unknown or Club this and that. I feel like it should be some sort of penalty for that. But I'm going to move on for that. Once again, that's a personal subject, though. But I was going to share some information with y'all, but I decided not to. So I guess this has been another episode of Polo's POV. I'd like to thank y'all for hanging out with me for this few minutes of your time. And until next time, be good and be safe. Peace.